as we're helping moms with self-care, and we're talking different types of self-care. We're talking about nutrition. We're talking about physical fitness. We're talking about mental fitness, mental health, those different things. So first, let's start with the physical fitness part, because sometimes I feel like as moms, we can neglect the physical fitness part, but a lot of things that we do, lifting them babies, putting them down, loving them babies, putting them down, that is kind of like a workout, especially carrying babies up and down stairs like I be doing. That's a workout. But let's talk about some easy things that moms can do at home that are pretty quick, like 5-10 minute things that they can do in intervals, you know what I mean, throughout the day, so they can still feel like they're getting a workout in, even when they feel like they can't go to a gym or watch a 30-minute video or hop on an hour Zoom class. What are some short things they can do?
Yeah, so some of the things that, depending on your child's ages, so I'll talk about like more infants where they can like baby carry, like when they get to that point. I mean, you can even do it as a toddler, but it gets even more cumbersome. But if you can add a point where you can do baby carrying, that alone, while you're doing all of your chores, I mean, think about it. That's an added weight of like 7+ pounds that you're carrying around to do your daily activities. And on top of that, you get that bonding that you want to have. So some simple things as, squatting down, of course, to pick up like a laundry basket, like that is in itself a practice of doing some form of a physical activity. When I'm looking at physical activity, I'm always looking at functional. Like, what are some things that you're going to be needing to do all the time? You need to squat down and pick up your kid. And so that's something that if they are of a younger age, you can squat down, pick them up, bring them above your head, squat back down. You're working your legs, you're working your core, you're working your shoulders and your arms as you lift them above your head. And it's fun for the kids too. Another one I like to do because it's fun. I mean, right now my son, every time I'm laying on the ground, he thinks that I'm just like a bounce house. But laying on the ground and doing a hip thrust and having my son as my weight. So he's on my hips and I'm lifting my hips up and down, up and down. Now, every time anyone's on the ground, he's like, oh, this is fun. We're going to go bouncing up and down. And I have to remind him, like, I just ate. So let's not bounce on mama right now because mama's going to like upchuck in a moment. But that's another easy one that you can do. Depending on, right now he's a toddler, so he likes to be swung around. So that's something that you could do kind of like a kettlebell swing, but you're using your kid. So taking a wide stance, bringing your kid underneath your legs, pulling them up. So again, that's a full body. That's also a little bit of cardiovascular activities that you could do. Make it as if you are playing. Other things can be simply like going for walks with them, whether it's pushing them in a stroller or chasing them down the street if they're a toddler, because we know that that's definitely a physical activity to do. I like to chase him. So we have this whole thing, like we just play chase where I'm just chasing him around the house. My mom gets into it also. My husband gets into it. So things like that are play activities that you can still do. Sports, if your kids are into sports, soccer, football, any of that kind of stuff, being outside and just making it into a play, because it's still something that you're bonding with your kid. And you can easily do that with your kid without feeling like you have to wait for them to go to sleep. Kids watch you quickly. Just this morning, I saw him picking up a 5-pound weight because he sees me always picking up weights. And he's taking like his play dumbbell and he was doing like kettlebell swings with it because he sees me do it. They watch you and they mimic you. They want to do the same thing that you are doing. So teaching them and showing them like these fun physical activities that you can do is not only going to be beneficial for you, but also beneficial for your kids, because your kids now start to see like, oh, this is fun and this is exciting over sitting there and watching a video game or watching, TV for hours, right? We want our kids to be physically active. So starting off with just leading by example is a really great way.
Yeah, I like all of that. You gave three really good and simple things that you can do using your child or having them involved. With the hip thrust that you talked about, can you explain that one just a slight bit more so that the ladies
Yeah.
can understand what it is?
Okay, so what you'll be doing is you're going to be laying on your back. You're going to have your feet flat on the ground, knees up in the air. So your knees are making like a nice triangle position. And then from there, if you are planning on using your kid, you can place your kid right on your hips, like right on that hip bone. holding on to them so that making sure that they're not falling from one side to the other, and literally squeezing your glutes and your abs as you lift your butt off the ground. And you can hold it there for a count of
Mm.
2 and then bring it back down. And then, the faster you go, it's more like cardiovascular, also like fun for them. But you can simply like lift them up, hold 1, 2, bring it back down. And of course, the heavier they are, the older they are, the more weight you're going to be
Yes.
using. Um, and prior to, it's funny because I'll log it when I'm logging my stuff. It's kind of like I will use a weight and my kid. So it'd be like, well, 65 pounds because I use X amount of weight plus my kid who's 20 something pounds, right? So it ends up being its own added weight that you can do. And it works the glutes and it works the core. So it's a really great one. And it's also good for moms who are postpartum because it's still helping with that pelvic floor while also not causing any additional pressure on the abdomen.
I like it. And I do the squat ones all the time because he definitely likes to be put into the air, like
Yeah.
down, up, over. But he's so heavy, I can't do as many as I did before.
Oh yeah, your arms start to hurt.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
arms
yeah.
hurt
He's
quickly.
heavier now, but that one's fun for him. And you get a good little squat in. That's a good little
Yeah.
squat with that weight. So I
And watch
like
your
that.
kids form, right? Right. Like your kids know how to squat better than you do. So like watching
Oh
how your
yeah.
kids squat is a perfect form on how to do a proper squat.